We're talking about Damian Lillard. Obviously got traded to the Bucks in 2023, 24. I don't even remember what year
I
it
think
was.
3.
It was 23.
It was 23, yeah, because they drafted Scoot Henderson.
Yeah.
And things did not work out in Milwaukee. They signed Myles Turner, and they waive Dame, and he's off the team. And we'll put the tweet on the screen from Shams Charania. It says, breaking, 9-time All-Star. Damian Lillard is finalizing a 3-year, $42 million contract to return to the Portland Trailblazers. This does include a player option until 27-28 and a no-trade clause. So a storybook reunion for Damian Lillard. He's finally back home where he belongs. Gio, as a Damian Lillard fan,
Bro, don't do this, bro. Don't do that to me.
what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I think it's wholesome. I think it's nice. He's back in, the city where it all started for Damian Lillard. I feel like no other team was interested in taking him, so it seemed to be sort of like what?
It's wrong.
That's
Really?
That's completely
Yeah.
wrong.
So tell me.
All 30 teams were interested,
yeah,
but
he had like 10 plus teams.
But,
Well,
he was deciding between the Blazers and the Boston Celtics. The
Really?
Boston Celtics were aggressive at trying to get
Really?
him. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, Boston was in that.
Well, I don't know why, but it's Damian Lillard. Like,
I mean,
he's
they
not all
don't
that.
they don't have a point
They don't
guard
have a
though.
point guard.
Remember,
Okay.
Yeah.
you also just drafted him, trying to advocate that.
Yeah, I know.
Best player ever. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
I know. But it's cool that he's back in Portland. That's his spot. That's his city. When you think of Portland, you think of Damian Lillard. Like, I don't know what else there is in
Yeah.
Portland. No hate. Like, I love you, Portland, but like, it's just Dame City. You know what I mean? So it's cool. Like, those are my thoughts, man. Like, it's cool. I'm excited to see him healthy again in Portland. So yeah.
Yeah, so he is going to sit out the entirety of this season. He will focus on rehab. And, at this age, he's in his mid to late 30s. This is risky for an Achilles injury, especially. So, Antoine, what are your thoughts on the storybook reunion of Dame Dollar?
I mean, listen, Portland got the gold at the end of the rainbow for them because you could never imagine this. First off, trading him away is already one of the hardest things your franchise can do, and they got a pretty good return back. And who would have ever thought that?
What did they get? I forget.
Did they get massive draft capital back?
I'll pull up the Shams tweet
Yeah.
while you look for that, and I'll tell you
But
exactly. what the trade was.
if you're Portland, you never would have thought that Dame would have a serious injury in Milwaukee that would lead him to getting released from them, and you have an opportunity to re-sign him again with no issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
And for Dame, I guess the kind of whole synopsis for this of him is that the grass isn't always greener on the other side of home, and maybe. And actually, not maybe, it is. You are always made for home, and there's no place like home, which is, of course, Portland for him. And you don't know what you have until you have it gone, because look at the way Milwaukee treats him. Kind of getting waived, injury prone. Portland would have never probably would not have ever in their lifetime, because he is what made that city and is the hero for that city ever since he was drafted there. So going back home to a place that literally praises you for everything you do. Off the court, on the court. And you kind of go into this right now with a team that, again, first year he's sitting out. When he comes back, you're not asking much from him, to be honest with you. You're maybe asking for...
Depends, right?
It depends what
Right.
Portland is after this next year coming up. But we know Portland's in a rebuilding mode. They have a lot of guys around them right now, a lot of depth. Dame could be definitely that CP3 role for a lot of guys. Hansan Yang, Donovan Clingan, Shane Sharp, Scoot. Of course, Scoot, we want him to get better what he does. But again, it's a win-win for Portland. It's a win-win for Dame, like I said. Going back home is big time for him, big time for Portland. And like I said, the grass is not always greener on the other side of home. So you don't know anywhere better than home. And Dame clearly thought the same way. And this is what it's come to.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into more home stuff coming into the next few signings.
Yeah. Quick question.
So
Yeah.
What does this mean for Scoot Henderson? That Damian Lillard's back.
Well,
I think this is
just-
everything
yeah.
Okay.
for Scoot Henderson.
Really?
Put it this way. You have Damian Lillard and Drew Holiday as your mentors.
It's pretty good.
And keep in mind, Scoot's a guy that he's having trouble finding his legs in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's had good certain spurts and certain good surges and good games, but we need consistency out of Scoot. And I think you kind of get both things with Dame and with Drew, because both fantastic players, both good in separate parts of the game. We all know how gifted Dame is offensively, his playmaking, We all know how good Drew Holiday is as a defender, one of the best perimeter defenders of this generation, one of the best role players. So, if Scoot doesn't turn into a star, which he likely won't, he could turn into that Derek White type player, which I think is super important.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing about Drew Holiday and Damian Lillard is that they're good people. They'll help him through all the ropes of life in the NBA and just life in general and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think it's good for his development. And going back to what you had asked about the package and stuff that they traded for Dame, we'll put the tweet on the screen from Shams Charania. So they traded Damian Lillard in 23 for Drew Holiday. Tumani Kamara came over from Phoenix in the Yusuf Nurkic rerouting
Massive.
in 2023. And then you sent Drew Holiday to Boston for Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams. And then one of those, I think one of those, and you traded away Malcolm Brogdon for Denny Avdia.
Massive.
So now you still have all those guys, plus Scoot Henderson, plus Hansen Yang, Donovan Clingan, and you just got Damian Lillard back. I mean, that is a humongous win of a trade. Like, Joe Cronin did a phenomenal job, because this would look a lot different if he went to Miami and he granted his wish. But I think that's just going back to what Anthony said.
It's massive.
The grass is not always greener. That's going to be the title of this segment when we upload this on like Sunday or Monday or whatever day.
Okay, Anthony.
And I think that's the most important thing. We all know Dame was always about not running from the grind. He pointed that out to Paul George when he had left Indiana and when he left OKC, running from the grind. And that's something that's people have ridiculed KD for doing it. They've ridiculed Kyrie for doing it. Every person that's requested a trade, the grass is not always greener, because when does it work? It only works when you either have when you're like Alex Caruso, when you're not that great of a player and you just get traded for like one guy. But if you're Kevin Durant, you get traded for 4 first-round picks. Your team's gutted. Like James Harden went for 4 first-round picks and 4 swaps, plus LeVert, Jared Allen, and all those guys. So it's like, it's not feasible. It's not sustainable if you're trying to win a championship. And it almost, to me, felt like Damian Lillard was forced to request out by the Portland Trailblazers, which is what they wanted to do. They wanted to move on. They saw Scoot Henderson. They saw the ceiling he had. And they weren't getting anywhere with Dame. He kept getting hurt. Team wasn't good enough. And now they've done such a good job. And like I told you last week, I trust Portland way more than the likes of Sacramento, than the likes of Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think Portland can make the playoffs this year.
Wow.
Without Dame, I think they can.
Wow.
They have a solid foundation, and you kind of got guys that check off boxes that others can't. Like, yeah, you have your pure scorers, you have your playmakers, you have your defenders. Like, the season we're going to see from Tumani Kamara is going to be obscene.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Absolutely.
The massive win there, Kamara and Avdia, is tremendous. And
You guys think Kamar's going to be that good?
100%.
I mean, I know he's a great defender,
100%.
but what else can he do
His
for your
scoring, his scoring's going to improve.
I would say
His scoring's going to
I
improve.
would say players under the age of 25, I would say he's right around that top 20 range.
And
I think he can make that leap.
the thing about, like, they got Drew back for almost nothing again. And again, Dame, they did send him to cap space hell, which again, we didn't know this was going to happen. It's all a chain reaction. The wave, again, we're still shocked about the wave. The wave is insane, because if the Bucks don't sign MT, they're still holding on to Dame. MT is massive in this. So MT's decision to go to Milwaukee is the predecessor to this release of
Good
Dame.
point.
It could be the agent thing,
So-
though, because I think Dame wanted to get waived, because I
Yeah.
think Dame wanted to have control over where he went, because Joe Cronin made it very clear that we're not sending you to Miami.
Yeah.
And I had made a tweet a couple years ago when Dame got traded, and I said, low key, if Giannis goes, it would not surprise me at all if Dame goes back to Portland. So I was close enough, right?
Yeah,
Like,
close.
Again, I didn't think Golden State was feasible for him, because again, I don't. Portland was the perfect spot, because going back home, like I said, is never the wrong choice at all.
yeah.
Boston, again, that's a spot that's coming out of cap hell. You want to go somewhere that's kind of not in cap hell, and Portland is not in cap hell as of right now. So, and Chauncey is rejuvenated himself into one of the top coaches, presumably going into this year. Again, Hansang Yang getting drafted to 16
He's
on
looking
draft
good.
night is a lot better than we anticipated.
He was supposed to be a net man. We gave him
Yeah.
a promise.
Yeah.
So sad.
So, again, Portland does know what they're doing, and we hated on Yang, but again, for what they
Who
got at
did?
6.
No one hated on
We did
Yang.
Well,
not hate on
I did because we had no idea who it was.
Dude.
But Young at 16 is looking phenomenal, and again, their young core is already deep and phenomenal development so far.
Yeah.
So nothing but praise as of right now for them.
And it seems to me, Gio, that like it almost felt like Dame kind of accepted his fate in the NBA, I guess. That maybe that going for a ring in that sort of setting wasn't it. And while you could do the same thing in Boston, you could do the same thing in Golden State, in Denver, or wherever. I guess maybe there's a high likelihood it doesn't work out. And then it almost felt like a waste.
Yeah.
At least now you can go back to the place you didn't really want to leave in the first place.
Right.
Your family's there, a front office that you've known pretty much more than almost half your life. I mean,
Right.
for being completely honest, he's been in
Right.
the league a long time. And
All your friends are there.
all your friends are there. And look, he's what, 36, 35? He just tore your Achilles. I think this is probably the last few years we'll see Damian Lillard in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, I feel like it's a situation. I mean, he'll be a Blazer probably from there on out. He'll probably move to a front office role when he retires, or he'll jump on the coaching staff or
If he
whatever.
wants to.
But
Yeah.
this to me is one of the more wholesome things that we needed in the NBA. Does this sort of send a message? We'll close with this. Does this send a message to other stars in this league about ring chasing and team hopping and stuff like that? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I hope so. I'm not, you know what? I'm not super against the ring chasing when you're older.
Right.
I'm not against that. Like, go ahead, get your ring. It's not gonna feel as good as if you're a big factor on the team and you're the main contributor to getting that ring. It's not gonna feel as good if you're not that. But I'm not against it. But at the same time, it is nice to be able to be on one team for your whole career. There's something about that that's just, I don't know. It's wholesome. It's just, it's a good thing in NBA viewers' eyes. It's a good thing.
I think Dame accepted the reality for what he was getting offered, that the ring chasing was not worth it for him wherever he was going.
Yeah.
And listen, there are so many players that have not won rings that are the best Hall of Famers we've seen in a
Russell Westbrook,
great long
yeah.
time.
Right, Russell Westbrook.
I mean, he's up there.
We're going to get into another one in the segment after this. But listen, it's part of the game. Not everyone could win a ring. And, it's tough. The league is very much different than it was back in the day because guys had 10 rings back in the day, no problem.
The Celtics literally eight-peated back in like the 50s.
So,
It was insane.
SGA is lucky he got this one this year.
Why is he lucky?
I mean, I feel like any player's
I don't think-
very fortunate too.
I don't think SGA gets another one in the next 5 years. I really don't think so.
Thunder don't win again?
Bold take.
I don't think they get another one.
Look, in today's NBA, with the parity that we've seen 7 straight champions or 7 different champions in 7 years, very likely. And
Listen,
it's tough. Like that's why a lot of the vets say, savor and absorb every moment you're in the finals because you don't know if you'll ever get back.
remember we were talking about Boston's window right now? Look at Boston right now. Their window's
Sure.
over.
That's so true.
That
Their,
is a
their,
good
their,
point.
their window is over.
Anything could happen in a matter of a year.
Literally.
Yeah.
Tatum's
crazy.
gone for a year, and we said their window is open. Now it's closed. That's it. It's over.
Look
Well,
at
it's
Indiana
not
too.
Completely over, but
No.
The window's a lot shorter than it
It's
was
shorter.
The
now.
window
Yeah.
for them is over. For Boston, it's over.
I think as long as you have Tatum and Brown, it's not over.
Well,
But
right.
that's just
but they're not the championship favorites anymore.
No, they got that one ring, and that was it.
They again,
So,
I feel like
one-off.
every team that gets talked about as the next dynasty just falls apart. It's like a curse. It's the new version of Scary Hours.
So you think that same thing's gonna happen to OKC?
Time will tell. I
I
don't know,
That's a different story.
but
If J-Dub tears his Achilles in year 2, year 3,
let's
What the
let's
heck?
not do that.
Or
What are we talking
SGA.
about right now?
Let's not do that because
Yeah,
that's a
let's not
freak
do that.
accident
Yeah.
of
What are you talking
happening.
about? No.
But even if he doesn't, look at Denver. Denver was health. They didn't have those types of injuries. They just did not get it done.
Yeah.
So in any situation, it can happen. And for Dame, whether they don't, he might not make the playoffs again in his career, but he's going to feel good about the decision he made.
Yeah.
Because if you
Exactly.
lose in the conference finals in Boston, you're going to be like, this was kind of pointless. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't get a ring. That's the only reason why I'm here.
That is
I could have enjoyed myself back home. So I'm glad he made that decision. Props to him for doing so.
Yeah.